Welcome again. Instagram Live, it's Chaplain Anthony James, Marketplace Ministry, where healing takes place, and just the truth. Just putting out the truth, putting out real talk. That's our slogan, real talk. Welcome again. Glad to see y'all once again in the land of the living, where things can get better if you want it to get better. And that's what we're about, Marketplace Ministry, just real talk and putting out the real stuff and just collaborating. That's the new world order. That's what we claim, for 2020, for the rest of this 2020, which is, is blessed. I know some things been going on, with the COVID-19 and all that, with the, people have passed away, and just, just for the families that has lost families. You know what I mean? We just pray that peace is over you and your families, your loved ones, and just moving on, even with the protesting stuff that's going on with the Black Lives Matter. So we actually have getting ready to do a summit, a youth summit coming soon. We'll let you know further date as close as we get, way before we get to do it. We're just going to be advertising. We're going to be talking about it right now. Why does Black Lives Matter movement? And the reason why does we pose a question, why does Black Lives Matter? Because just getting some dialogue. We want some dialogue because seeing the same things happen over and over again, you know what I mean? We just want to get some answers, solution, instead of just the rhetoric, the talking, and the protesting is real. So you want to, walk both sides of the youth. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, brother?
What's up, chap?
How you?
All right, and yourself?
Okay, everything's good. That thing is coming tomorrow, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, man, what's going on?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Man, just keep healing, man. Marketplace Ministries. Guiding souls to God. By giving my testimony. With what I've been through, and and how I got through. You know what I mean? And that's where Marketplace Ministry. Co-founder, right. Man. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I mean, we just just as a recap from what we've been talking about, community awareness, community involvement, and just just covering bases on that, with the stuff that's still going on every day in our community as we continue to wake up, continue to see the same things. You know what I mean? I really don't see any change. I guess, it's a process to it, but just keeping it real. Me personally, I mean, I don't know what the change looks like. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, without people coming together, until I see people really coming together, making a difference in the community, then that's when change. I always have this saying, change ain't change until it's changed. So until things change, you can't really say things are changing. People are marching. Now that changed. Now people are protesting for the right reason, I believe. You know what I mean? And it's always the negative tries to snuff out the positive, what people are trying to do. But overall, I believe it's a positive move. I believe God's hands is in this. And the funny thing, I was on social media today, man, and let me tell you something, man, it touched me. Whether I don't care who else have something to say about it, but I know what I saw. Yo, it was probably like 100 Caucasians. It was raining. They were kneeling down, repenting to Black people on what happened. They was actually repenting for what took place as far as slavery, Jim Crow, and all that stuff. It was asking them for forgiveness, and let's get rid of this racism. I've never seen that before. So let me change that. Something is changing. You know what I mean? Something is changing. I saw that today. So it was really powerful to see them being there, because they don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I don't think they're getting paid to do anything like that, Go ahead.
Yeah, I think one thing we cannot expect change to come like a flat tire. You know what I mean? Like, once you get a flat tire, you change the flat tire and you keep rolling. Like, I don't think that's what this is. I think this is longevity change. Even with ourselves, you know what I mean? I think you know, I think I'm freezing up. Even if you look,
Hello? I can't hear you. You faded out now. You went out. Can you hear me? Something wrong. Something wrong, bro. But listen, I'm saying, you know, what he was just saying, what Keith was just saying is that change doesn't happen overnight. And yeah, of course not. You know, but the thing is, we need to talk about what's to come, the positivity. As long as we continue to talk about not just not seeing change, but just inviting change. The more we talk about it, the more people want to do it. The less we talk about it, the more people just say, you know, it's the same thing. You know, I just believe that, you know what I mean? Hold up for a second, people. Get my partner back in here so we can have this dialogue, you know. Bear with us. Yeah. You there, Keith? Yeah. Well, we can't be popping in, and now I'm gonna just go ahead, and when you check in, just let me know you there, so that way it won't stop nothing. We can keep going. All right. But yeah, what we was talking, you there? But yeah, we're talking about, you know, change, you know, as it opposed to everyday life. You know what I mean? You know, preferably talking about this movement that's going on, this Black Lives Matter movement. We're trying to connect with the movement. We're trying to connect with change. And you know, like the brother was saying, he said, well, not like a flat tire. You can fix a flat tire, you know, when it get flattened. It doesn't take that long to fix a flat tire. But true, that's all true. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, you know, I believe if we talk about change, if we just continue to put it out in the air and not be negative about it, you understand? We got to get off this negative mindset of conversation, you know, because me and a young man was talking about this today. We was talking about debating. He was telling me, yo, he liked debating. I told him I don't like debating, because what debate is never a real solution. You get your own solution out of debating. I think debating is arguing a point. And I don't think we should argue a point at this present time, at this time that we're living in, because we need to get some answers. We need to get some clarity. We need to get a solution. You know what I mean? So, you know, we come together, come to the table, and you got your, you know, how you think. I got how I think. The next person got how they think. But when, boom, we all gonna think the same way, and let's move on it. You know what I mean? And so the bottom line is, it's about us moving on how we think. You know, not just thinking and just talking. We need to make some decisions on how we're gonna move on what we're thinking and what we're talking about. And so therefore, you know, Marketplace Ministry, we moving with solutions. You know what I mean? We're trying to start a conversation. We're trying to talk about moving forward, and what does it look like with collaborating? What does collaborating mean? Collaborating really means is that we come together in one common cause, and we make a difference. We all come together on this one project, and we make it happen. We do something. Instead of talking about it, we doing something for the betterment of others. And that's what collaboration is, building one up, building others up, so that way we can make a difference in the community. That's what we're talking about, community. This is what it is, community awareness, community building. community, you know, and a lot of times people are so hurt and from the past situations that's been going on for so long, you know, they just don't believe that things can change like that, or they really want change, but they don't really know how to go about the change. But instead of, you know, allow people that's hungry and that's willing and able enough to come together for one common cause and get with them. If you don't know what to do, just get with the people that do. And then maybe you can catch the vibe and you add on. That's what change is. Change ain't change until you change. And so a lot of times you have to change. You have to see change. You know, there's no such a thing as wanting change and you don't see it. No, there's no such a thing. So change is like the way our communities have been in the past. Let's try to change the narrative of it. You know what I mean? Even if we got to go to the top and come down, you know what I'm saying? But mainly I believe God wants us to come from the bottom, which is to pluck it up, you know, get the root up, dig the root up and replant. I think God wants that. He'll take care of the top, because see, handling the top, that's talking government. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we continue to allow the government to make decisions for us, it won't change. It won't change, because really most of them can really care less on how we live. As long as they stay in their mansions, as long as they stay in their gated communities, as long as they keep certain people away from them, they don't care about us changing. All they doing is change the law probably every 20 years, probably. Every 10 to 15 years, certain laws don't change. And I live in North Carolina where they still rocking off laws from the 1800s. So we're talking about change, man. So if we wait for them to change, and we can vote all day long, but they still going to change one thing at a time. So us as a community, I think we have power that we don't even know that we have. Power is in unity. You know, if we could come together and get enough people fired up about this change, about this movement, about, you know, whether it be people want social justice to change, people want to be treated better, people want economic relief. And we talking about all this stuff. But my take from where I'm sitting at, and this is me, you know, this is my perception, this is how I see, how I've been living, 54 years old on this earth. I've been like, man, we have been treating each other bad. You know what I mean? I even told a person today, we had a real good conversation, you know, a Caucasian brother and a black sister and me, we was just talking on the job, and we was like talking about, you know, Black Lives Matter. One person said, well, the reason why the slogan Black Lives Matter is really prejudice. That's what they were saying. And another person said, well, you really don't understand because you're not black. So it started getting into that. So, you know, I was like, wow, you know, I really don't want to get into all of that. You know, so the bottom line is this, you know, I posed the question. I said, well, I'm just going to say this. Me looking at my community, this is what I've been noticing, you know. I've noticed, like, it's been unfair with slavery, with whatever, all in the past. But what I also noticed that it's a reason why, because if we continue to blame people for what we don't have, then I think that's a bigger problem. But if you can look at the big picture, and I'm just playing the devil's advocate right now. The big picture is the banks. They're gonna loan money to people who they feel can bring a return back to them. And I believe in our community, I ain't saying all, I'm saying the majority though, has not been able to bring a return back. And they're looking at it like that. So if I give you something and you squander it, how would you want me to feel? How would you feel if you gave me something and you said, wow, you know, I'm gonna trust you to, man, how are you gonna do business out? How are you gonna want people to buy into what your business is about? You understand what I'm saying? You there, Keith? key.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna keep going, man.
Like they want us to wipe the slate clean from the.
Yeah, whatever's going on with your situation, man. But what I'm saying is this: I'm saying a lot of times we have to make good for each other, around each other. Like, and we can't trust each other to do good in business. How you expect other people to, and I ain't talking about slavery, what happened, and Willie Lynch and Jim Crow. Let's just keep it real, 100. I'm talking about me. Listen, in the past, if a bank would have loaned me some money to do something in the business, I'd have went and bought some drugs with that money. That's just being real. I'd have went and bought some drugs with that money. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I would have basically, you know, there's no way I could have really got to the point where I was really going to do anything with it. And so that's the problem. What's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
How you, man?
Hey, long time no see, goddamn.
Yeah. Keith, we got Keith on, man. He got a little technical difficulty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
I'm here to bridge that gap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We just basically talking about community awareness, you know what I'm saying? Community involvement. Right. So, you know, just talking about conversation, just stirring up some conversation. You know what I mean? Because that's what we need to do. We need to talk about this thing. And so I was just explaining about how our people, we're blaming Jim Crow, we're blaming Willie Lynch. Oh yeah, that happened. That happened.
Yeah.
But when are we gonna come to the table and say, okay, I've learned from that. Now let's move forward. Let's move forward. Because the Black Lives Matter.
We hit a status quo.
Right.
But I'm tired of that. Let's create an agenda. Let me get the greatest out of you, the greatest up out of me, the greatest up out of them, and create the agenda at the table.
Right. And that's what Marketplace Ministry is about. We're about moving on. We're about, okay, forgiving ourselves. Okay, because and whatever happened to us, real talk, we allowed it. Yeah. We allowed it for the most part. I don't know what really took place. I wasn't there when the slavery took place, my forefathers and this, that, and the third. But I understand. The hurt, because I got my parents beat me down with it, with their anger, with their, you know, about slavery. My mom was born and raised in North Carolina. All she talked about was picking cotton. She had to wear boy clothes, and she was disgruntled. But for me, I said, wow, man. I said, wow. And that affected me. I'm just going to speak for me. I can't speak for my brothers and sisters because they don't talk about it. But it affected me in a way where it's now had me ready to do harm to white folks.
Yeah. See, we have to change that mindset. Yeah.
Because I was young. I was young. The word of people. Go ahead.
You got me? I grew up a Tupac fan. And I can never hear, you know, the white man's world, right? You remember that song, The White Man's World, Tupac? And at the end of it, he would speak some stuff, and I never did understand it till I'm now 33. And I sometimes go look up the lyrics. And the lyrics simply said that it's not them killing us, it's us killing us. We have to we have to change the way we think. See what I'm saying? And that goes back to what you were saying. Okay, we understand that, because first thing with us is, okay, there's too many chiefs out there. Hey man, I'm tired of hearing that.
Yo, listen.
I'm tired of hearing that. You know what I'm saying? The point is, how can I get the greatness about you, greatness about him, greatness about her, greatness about him, you know what I'm saying, to create this dialogue like we're doing now, to create this agenda, you know what I'm saying, and use our advantages, which our powers in the money, and our voices, you know what I'm saying, and our platforms to sustain a stability to whereas we no longer live, we're creating a better society for our kids. Like you were saying, between bridging the gap is You listen to, you heard the stories of your grandmother, your grandfather, and stuff like that, right? So now it's time to change the mindset and the dialogue so that we can have a different mindset for our kids and their future.
Right. No doubt. And that's pretty much what I'm saying, because we was talking earlier, man, and I must tell you like this. Why would if I gave you some money to build, you said you have a business, and I loaned you some money to make good of that business, but you had to pay me a return back, but you never came with a return. Why would I give you more money? You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
why would I give you that?
You're not good.
Right. So a lot of times in our community, we make bad investments on ourselves. We looking for an investment when we are taken. And you can't do that. And so that's one of the problems that we don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got black communities right now, but nobody invests in them because they don't trust them. And it's a reason why.
Exactly.
It's the reason why. You know what I mean? So
our money supposed to bounce 8 to 12 times before it leaves the community. Okay. For one, in our communities, we gotta take it for what it is. It is what it is.
Right.
But if our money isn't bouncing in a circle before it leaves our community, we're not creating.
Right.
For example, okay, history, we speak facts. History repeats itself. So, okay, we've been Democrats for the past, 50-some years.
Right.
50 years. We've been, what they've done nothing. Look at the inner cities. Can't call ourselves Republicans. We have nothing to conserve. So we can't be Republicans. So why don't we take that 12%, which represents 40 million African Americans, and create our own black party?
Right.
See what I'm saying? See, until we take that step, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing is divide. When you divide, you conquer.
Right.
You got the red, the blue. At the end of the day, they don't care about you. You know.
Right.
And we just got to we got to face facts for facts. And once we understand that, and that goes back to what I was saying, we have to change our mindsets. We have to come together. We have to be, hey man, one thing I believe is team. Together one achieves more. See what I'm saying? And like with the TCF thing came on, it was one of my big brothers. He used to always tell me, hey man, you got great ideas, man, but you need to focus on one. You know what I'm saying? We used to have a thing, taste class from the West. You know what I'm saying? That used to be the slogan. So the only thing I keep hearing was, man, you got great ideas, but you need to focus on one. Because, I like to multitask and this, that, and the third.
Right.
Little did he know what came out of that was taking care of family due to the loss and the situations of my family. The community first. You see what I'm saying? So that correlates to what we're talking about now. In order to begin the race, we have to have shoes on our foot to get into to run in the race. You know what I'm saying? Our house is burning. Not saying that I don't love you to the next man. Yeah, I love you, but first let's fix what's inside. That way we can get the things. Let's fix our house inside, then we can step outside and help the others. See what I'm saying?
And that's right.
But the main thing is to understand bridging the gap, breaking the cycle. Because like I said before, when I step out there, I represent you. You know what I'm saying? I represent your teachings because through your skin color. You know what I'm saying? That's what they think, your ideology. When you step out there, you represent me, the teachings, the growth. But somehow we have to bridge that gap and have that one connection to where the mindset and mentalities are changed. Therefore, we can understand the significance of business and buying back in our own community, having that dollar bounce 8 to 12 times. Therefore, so we can have those shoes to begin the race, to grab that baton and go outside and start helping others. Until we understand that, we're going to be stuck in a dilemma. And you have to be willing, like you say, you have to be, I use a saying called Last Supper. Last Supper, I say because, hey, man, everybody want to eat, but ain't nobody bring no fish. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to feed these 5,000, right? But I showed you how to fish already. So since I showed you how to fish, I got to create discipline. So until we discipline ourselves with Last Supper, with the Last Supper and ideology and come together as one and bring out, like now, the economy is at a drop. We come out with black Bitcoin to keep the dollar, the big Bitcoin, anything. I'm just using certain, just throwing scenarios out there to where we can create wealth, commonwealth upon our own. See what I'm saying? Then when because without wealth, we can't keep having our hand out. You know what I'm saying? We have to create our own wealth. We'll go to the Democrats. Hey man, you have our vote, but you're not giving us nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look at the facts of the Democrats. Democrats, you have Margaret Sanger. She was Planned Parenthood. What that is, to abort our babies and kids. You know what I'm saying? So we have to really look at that. Look at the facts of Republicans. You know, the Republicans, they're conservative. We own 1/2 and 1% of all natural resources. That means we own nothing since slavery. So I mean, it goes deep on facts. It goes deep on facts.
Okay. Right, but check this out. I'm gonna go a little deeper than that too, because see, I'm on this. I'm on a spiritual move as well. I'm on a spiritual. I'm just saying, I'm on a spiritual move as well, and so this is what Marketplace Ministry is about. Now, we want economic relief. We need that to grow, right?
Yeah.
But giving money, giving resources to sick people, it still ain't gonna do nothing. You understand? We have to heal. We have to heal from, like you said, from the inside. Because a lot of us,
one and one, that's confirmation.
Right? A lot of us is angry. Right. But see, the mindset, you have to go into the spirit of things so that way we can come together.
I totally agree.
But then once we get what we get now, we don't feel like we want to take over ourselves, because it ain't about me. It's about us. You know what I mean? And we've been hurt. It's been some hurt going on, but the bottom line, hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
So now we hurt. Once we gain this financial whatever, all we're going to do is probably go back to that old man, go back to that mind. We might go buy some more drugs. We might go buy some more. You see what I'm saying? So we got to try to wash that. That's the thing. If we can wash.
Let me ask you this. Okay, is there a possibility that we can change the mindset?
Of course.
That's the only thing that matters, right?
All we need a few good men.
See, we need because the numbers comes to strength. Strength comes to numbers.
Right, but we got to start somewhere. We got to start somewhere.
But we have to understand that we have to start in our house.
Right, first.
If we got our house burning and their house burning, hey, look here, our house been burning. See what I'm saying? See, they say 30 million Americans. See, I'm gonna speak facts. This is like when you go to court, you got to speak facts. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear no hearsay. I'm gonna speak facts, not just speaking in general. When you go to court, you have to speak facts. So we're court, and we have to also know that every day as we wake up as black men, that we're at war. We're at war with ourselves, with the world, with our queens, all that. So we have to understand that. To see this going on and using this platform as we have here,
right?
This is see everything. People say, "Oh man, you just talk, you talk." Everything starts from a conversation. Before a war starts, what they do, they sit down. They go to the UP, what they call United Nations, and they say, they sit down as all the countries. They sit down and they have a conversation. So we have to sit with ourselves and have a conversation with self. The first thing that black men, black kings, we have to take accountability. So this is me taking accountability for all the times I missed. See, everything happens for a reason. He dropped out so I can drop in, so we can bridge that gap to understand each other. And I can get that work from you, because I heard you got that work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I heard you got the energy. But yeah, I push to motivate and inspire. Like I say, man, I use this analogy. I don't want to be James Harden. I'm Chris Paul. I just want to grab the assist to the team, man, And so if we can all get on that collective effort, you know what I'm saying, and put our money together so that we can have our own hospitals, our own banks, our own land, you know, those things, you know, things can change. But the first thought is, before we can get to a solution, we have to create the conversation to understand the agenda, then to knock it down one by one. You know what I'm saying? Just like COVID-19. People don't understand COVID-19. You take the ID out of COVID, you get covered. 19 means faith. 9 + 1 = 10. 10 means the law of God. So if you ain't covered with faith, you ain't got nothing. So it's deep right now. You see what I'm saying?
Right, and that's another thing. That's another thing.
And that's from the spiritual
have
side.
to. Right. We have to involve. And the deal is the churches. We have to sit down with the churches, because they play such a big part. They have played such a big part in our community, but a lot of times on the wrong side of it. But there are some that's willing to do the right thing. We just got to come to the table and sit down with them and let them know what we're willing to do on the outside, because they work on the inside. You feel what I'm saying? We got to come strong on the outside, you know, bridging the gap with our families, with the community involvement. We have to take over our own community. We can't keep allowing people to come in our community and eat off of us, and then we bust it, because our culture is the only culture that really share with everybody, but nobody shares with us. You feel what I'm saying? And so that's
how they captured us.
Right.
You know?
So now, now guess what? We don't change that heart, but we just tap into each other. We tap into each other like that. We're going to share. Instead of sharing with everybody else, let's share with us. Let's share with us and see how we can come up. Because like you said, it starts on the inside. Exactly. Your family. If your wife and your kids don't see how you providing for them and protecting them, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. If your queen can't say, queen, you feel what I'm saying? Go ahead, my brother.
And that's one thing that I was speaking about. I'm leaving after this one. That's one thing I was speaking about, accountability. As black men, we have to take accountability. First, we have to look at the history. You know what I'm saying? And we got to understand our history, because through history, we begin to understand the mindsets, the Willie Lynch's, the separating, the house Negroes, that same old rhetoric, right? We have to understand that in order to bring it to light, to figure out the solutions. So it's the term that we use, bring home the bacon, like you say. You know, back probably when your pops was growing up, you know, he probably used to work, come home, give his wife the check, and she made sure, you know what I'm saying, the bills paid, everything laid, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, his food made, etc. Then during around the 70s, the 80s, that's when I'll call it the Reagan, the Reagan era, the war against drugs. And that's when we've seen the decline of black families due to the fact that, you know, cocaine and all that shit was distributed instead of dirt. So we have to understand that. Now back to bring home the bacon. Okay, if they putting us in jail for small bits of crack cocaine and letting the white guys, other people of color, for bricks of cocaine powder, giving them less time for large amounts of cocaine, giving us 50, 60 years, now we're locked up, right? So the cycle of life goes like this. God, man, woman, who nurtures child, right? Cycle of life.
Yeah, so I get on. I get on that.
You see them doing that, they take us out, so we're not able to. No. I'm going somewhere with it. So when you put our value is in prison, right? And next thing, the government slides in between where the man's supposed to be. So now it's God, government, woman who works multiple jobs, who left kids to raise kids. You know what I'm saying? And the devilish TV and this propaganda that's on the radio, and all that. So when we get into to take accountability, to have a dialogue with our queens, and as men take accountability, you know, like I said, it's a system. It's set up. You know what I'm saying? They watching out. But I wouldn't give a fuck because excuse my language. I believe I die for what I believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And hey man, I need that word, man. I've been
Man,
hearing a lot
and
about
you
you,
know,
man.
but you know what? I appreciate you coming on, man, because God got me doing this 7 days a week, man. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I'm working. I'm putting this work in because at the end of the day, man, I know some hidden masters. I look at you as a hidden master. You know, we've been put on a shelf. So now God is raising his people up to go out and change this thing, man, change this paradigm, man. And so how I see it is we gonna have to do it. We gonna have to do it. Ain't no more, yo, sitting back.
Either you do it or he gonna do you.
Right. So I'm taking the opportunity when God says I'm giving you this platform. I'm talking about God as I know him. Man, they ain't talking about man. Ain't talking about man.
Exactly.
So I have a mandate. This Marketplace Ministry is a mandate. We just one coming together for one common cause, sparking each other, uplifting each other, empowering each other, exciting each other. You understand? I heard 50, there was 50 billionaires, right? That, you know, they had quotes. All of them made quotes. And I paid attention to that. And one of the billionaires said, Walt Disney said, out of Oprah, out of Trump, out of whoever, Madam C.J. Walker and all that, out of all of them, Walt Disney said, don't ever put business before your family. And that thing stuck with me so heavy because I understood what he was saying. You know what I mean? And so now I'm like, okay, boom. But God is telling me to go get the men. Go get those men that's willing and able. Because we got wealth in our community like crazy. We already got it. We already got the wealth. We out there searching and going out there doing all this craziness. In all actuality, look at all the sports. Look at all Hollywood. Who's up top? The white man's seem to be because he have, but we the one that's generating everything. So why can't we generate in our communities? You feel what I'm saying?
And you can't, like I say, you can't be mad at them because it's called a race. It's called a race for a reason.
It's called residual.
They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
It's called residual.
Yeah.
Residual. That's what they after, and they look at us as residuals because they'll put us out there, pay us a little bit of money. They'll give us 100,000 to make 100 million. That's where we got to be smart. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jews.
And I'll leave you on this stuff right here. This is my last one. I say, as soon as our kids say we get an 8-ounce kid, big kid when it's born, right? First thing we say, he's gonna play for the Patriots or he's gonna be the next LeBron. First off, we limit our kid right there. Why not can he be the next Jerry Jones, the owner?
Right.
See, we have to understand business. We
can't
limit
and we pimping our kids.
Limiting ourselves.
And we pimping
business.
Right.
And getting pimped. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I'm tired of it. Me personally, I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing something about it. I'm taking a stance. And that's why I'm going to the churches because I'm a chaplain. I'm clergy. So I can sit in those circles. You understand? But see, I'm bringing strong-minded men that's talking right and moving right. We going to the churches. We going to T.D. Jakes. We going to Joe Osteen. See, I know them circles. You understand?
You have to put it on there. Hey, man. I gotta see if you really fake. Like I gotta see if you real. If you really about this work. Or you just your style of profile.
No. And I'm telling you, I haven't never been on social media. Really, I've never rocked with social media because I don't play with this thing. Because I'm not gonna look like be a sad-faced clown. If God has ordained me to do this work, I have to do this work. And he's sending me people. He's sending people to this work because a lot of us is tired of it, man. Like you said, how old are you, my brother?
I'm 33.
I'm 54. Okay.
Yeah.
I was in that war on drugs. I was in New York. Well, that cocaine was dumped and whatever. But thank God I'm here, right mind, healthy, internally first.
You got to go through the growth through, you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what?
How you going to, you ain't never been through nothing, how you going to teach somebody something, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
one thing,
you know,
we have to go through this thing with peace. We have to have peace about it.
Yeah, we have to have peace with ourselves, but at the same time, we have to protect ourselves, you know, as one.
Right.
Yeah, I come in peace, as Malcolm X said, but once you put your hands and you threaten me, I'm sending you to the morgue or to the hospital. And that's the mindset.
You know what? The bottom line is, you know, if we come together in unity, see, this is what I know black men are afraid of. They're afraid to be vulnerable. They're afraid to really live. They're afraid to really love one another.
They're afraid to die for what they believe in.
Well, that's part of it, but that love, man, they don't understand what the real love is about. The love don't have to be gay love. The love is talking about the agape love, unconditional.
You know, like coming up, y'all came up, you know, it was high five, and y'all know y'all make that look cool. Hey man, how you doing? You from the country? Right. Hey man, when they see you, hey, you better speak. I ain't sleep with you last night.
Right,
you know all of a sudden, everybody want to be tough. You know you kill your own people, but you ain't out here doing nothing to these people that's doing something to your people, but you saying you stand for your people. I don't understand that.
But yo, my brother, but check it out. We got a movement called Why Does Black Lives Matter? We setting up a youth summit, and we're gonna have a panel. We setting up a panel. We want the elected. We going 2 by 2s. We want the elected officials there, either the mayor or the legislator. We need them to sit down in on it. We going after different cultures of people. We going after the Raleigh Police Department. You understand? I'm going after the heads, because this is something that we gonna do. Ain't trying to do. We gonna do that. You understand? That's where we going with this, because we have to bust this ground wide open.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna be straight frank. I'm gonna be straight frank, man. If people don't understand, see what's going on right now, America's over and the law of God has entered. The law of God has entered. And he's bringing his warriors to the front line. He's either if you deny him now,
right.
If you deny him now, it's over with, baby.
And I'm in a place where there's no more denying, because I already know. Yeah. So, yo, my brother, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
I remember I was doing time. And I remember this guy told me, say, man, hey, youngster, I always remember the strength lies in the truth. You know what I'm saying? When you speak the truth, the strength. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to accept it. They ain't got to accept it. They ain't got to respect it. You feel me?
Right.
But they gonna understand it's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it is. Everybody want to go to heaven. Nobody want to die. You understand? See, I'm gonna die for this. I believe. That's what I believe in. So, but strategy is another thing. As long as we strategize and be real, like I told his brother the other day, it was like, yo, what about the Judas? I said, no, that's what Christ died for. Now you can detect Judas. Judas ain't gonna be in my camp. Because as soon as I see a small,
can't be Judas. Our Chief Peter Apostle, all the chief Apostle Peter, who left when he was being crucified after 12 years of running with Christ, Judas betrayed him. You know what I'm saying? You can't have those jigaboos.
But Peter, you know, right? And you know, the bottom line is, you know, we just got to come.
Peter left.
We just got to come together, man.
I love this dialogue, man, and just having this, man. And I'm just taking my accountability for all the times I've missed, man. Appreciate it, Keith. We know the
no
truth
doubt, man.
Hey, that's a strong brother right there, man. That's a strong brother, man.
Right.
Strong brother's great brother, man. And like I say, it's bridging the gap. You know what I'm saying? We're bridging the gap.
No doubt.
Ain't such thing as coincidence. It was just all natural. You know what I'm saying? Manifest.
No doubt.
You do great, man. TC up. Take care of family, man. Community first.
Stay up, man. All right.
All right.
Peace. But yeah, we back. You know, Marketplace Ministry. This is what God is doing. You know, we live and direct on here, and just God is bringing the people, man. He's bringing the people because that's what he said. He said, throw the first rock, throw the first brick, throw the first punch. You know what I'm saying? And what we're trying to do, and we're punching in the spirit. We ain't doing nothing physicality but moving as one body. And that's what this is about. This is some real talk here. This is some real God inspired. We're not coming out here. Listen, me personally, I ain't got to pull no gun. I got my big gun, which is God. So at the end of the day, we loaded. We loaded. I ain't tripping. Because when you start bringing like Malcolm X, by any means necessary, then that's when everything wrong happens. Not saying things are going to not be wrong when we're moving now, but I trust God that he's going to cover us under the blood. We're covered under the blood, Marketplace Ministry. So, you know, we appreciate y'all coming in and getting with this movement. And as I pull other people in, as they tap in, they're going to bring their people. And that's what God is saying. And so, like, again, Marketplace Ministry is here, you know, here to stay. And then generationally, I don't know if I'm just starting this thing off. You know what I'm saying? God got me working. So generationally, it's gonna come to a point where we're gonna come together and we're gonna see each other through, and we're gonna help each other grow on every level possible. But first of all, before we can talk about economic relief, we need healing. And so it's all good. You know what I mean? What's going on, brother? You back? Hey, don't shake it off. Shake it off, brother. Shake it off, because listen, this is only the beginning. Shake it off, man. Whatever's hindering you, whatever's ailing you, man, you gotta cut the head off, man.
Man, chap, I had some powerful words, man. It was like, oh man, you know, I was just like changing the tire, you know what I mean? And then it was just like, man, I don't know what it was. I don't know. I think it was bad service on my end. You know, I don't know what's going on, but you know, man, it was real good, Bishop, man. You know, yeah, I had real good dialogue going on. But like I said, I had some powerful words, man, about change, you know what I mean? Because if I can go back to that, like I was saying earlier, you know, it's not like just changing a tire, you know what I mean? And you know, this is something that we have to do. Like, you know, it's starting with ourselves. You know, I believe that we have to be careful with our words, because, you know, for all the change that I know I have seen in you and you have seen in me, we have to really be careful not to give God thanks of the things that he have already placed inside of us, as far as us being leaders of, you know, what's going on. You know what I mean? If he didn't change us, then in return we can change other people nor the situation. You know what I mean? So things are definitely changing. You know what I mean? It just, you know, it just not in the physical realm yet. You know what I mean? It's being tested in the spiritual. You know, that's like any antidote or anything that goes out. It has to get tested. You know what I mean? You don't want this change to come and it's not the right change. You know what I mean? So the change is being tested right now as we speak. Evil Bishop coming. Right, Evil Bishop coming on right now. You know, that was a test. You know what I mean? And you know, and because I surely wanted to get on. Man, I was really, you know, I was cheering y'all on, but you know, I had a word. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
This dialogue. This is about dialogue. This is what this brings about, change.
Right.
This is how the change changes. We have to have conversation. We have to talk about different things on how viewpoints, because all of us have right in us. All of us have wrong in us. But if we can put things to the side and come together as one body, then God is going to change the situation. He said, if my people that are called by my name humble themselves and seek my face and change from their wicked ways, then he will hear from heaven and change our land. So the Bible, he'll heal our land. So that's what it's about. It's all about healing, man. It's about healing first, because we can't go out there we can't go out there duct taped up. Nah, that's why you home. That's why we home. We handling that home. We handling all the sicknesses, get it off us, and then when we go out there, we have more stability. You know what I'm saying? We're more clear. You know, we're seeing clear. We're moving clear. So yeah, change, it takes time. It's a process in it. One thing I'm not doing, I'm not disgruntled. I'm not angry. Even at my job today, they try to pull me into a conversation of a debate. I told them, nah, I'm not about debates. I said, you know, because debates don't bring on really positive. It can, but I don't think I need to be yelling and going in on somebody to make a change or to help somebody see my point. You know what I mean? So debates, I don't debate about anything. If we can't have a conversation and talk about it like men, like grown men, then ain't nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue, be yelling and yo man, yeah. That's what they was doing in my job today. I eased right out the conversation. You understand? I said what I had to say and I got up out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna entertain Satan's foolishness. Because that's what Satan wants us to do. He wants us to have the old way of thinking. Yo, man, you better do. No, it ain't about that. You can come off just by being quiet and still, and then you can start a conversation. Yeah, but that's Bishop. That's the one that was on the other day, the other time you showed me, right? With no T-shirt on. Right. Yeah, okay. But I mean, yeah, he was on point. He was on point. But at the end of the day, I know where I'm at. This is Marketplace Ministry. We gonna invite people to walk alongside of us. But ain't nobody changing this platform. I don't care who you are, how smart you are, how God is saying that he's given us this platform. So we have to regulate it the way he's telling us to. And people are coming. And their people are coming. As he timed in, other people timed in too. So at the end of the day, you know, we got something going on here, man. And I'm glad, man. I don't know this technology, man. This technology, we're gonna have to get on computers or something, man, so that way we won't have to deal with in and out, as well as on my side too. We're gonna have to get on, you know, I'm gonna get me a iMac or something, man. I'm getting ready to get something. I already got a laptop, so that way we can Zoom. Once we get on Zoom, I don't think we'll be dealing with all this technology stuff, technical things, depending on as much. You know what I mean? But I just like to say too, the more powerful we come across, the more Satan is in the airway too now. He'll throw something up and try to block and but we got to stay on course. Like if I'm blocked out, you got to keep it going. If you blocked out, I got to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So but that thing is coming tomorrow, man. So you won't have to be playing with that. You know what I mean? So you heard me, Keith? Cause yeah, you in and out, brother. You hear me? I can see your face, man. But yeah, this is Marketplace Ministry. We appreciate y'all timing in on what we're doing with this kingdom building, this community involvement, community awareness, you know, bridging the gaps. This is what we're called to do. You know, we're just looking for people to get with us, walk alongside with us and help us build. And if you're doing something, let us know what you got going on so we can tap into what you got going on. You know what I mean? Because that's what we have to start doing. We have to start coming together, inviting each other to different platforms. And so that way we can make a difference, all of us. But all organizations, we need to come together and make some things happen. So again, Marketplace Ministry, I appreciate you coming through and spending some time with us this hour of power. And you know, we on every day. God says, get it in, go hard like you go hard for everything else. Pull my people together. And so we have a mandate. Marketplace Ministry have a mandate. When I said T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen, that means I would love to sit down and talk to those great minds. You know what I mean? And sit down and see how we can come alongside of them, or they can come alongside of us while they doing what they doing, you know, help us better for the betterment, to help what we got going on here in our communities, man. Because these communities need to be flipped inside out. And that's what we're talking about. They need to be turned upside down, not people, the community. You know what I'm saying? The ground the ground they walk on need to be turned up. Something, but we need to change. And change ain't change until you change. So again, this is Marketplace Ministry, and I appreciate and baby bro, you know who you are in Houston. You know what I'm saying? You know, we need to sit down and have a conversation, man. This is some real talk right here, man. I know you moving strong, and I know you hear from the Lord. And you know, I want to hear from you, man. You know what I'm saying? Baby boy, I want to hear from you, man, because this is big. God is calling us, man. We have to put differences aside and let's come together for one common cause, man. I love you, man. And yeah, but I thank God for this ministry. And so now, just signing off, say good night until tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Peace.